Something that's really stood out about this team to start is the bend not break mentality, right? Like during tough moments, everyone's calm and they bounce back. What are you seeing from this team's growing that maturity?
I just think it's in between the periods. I think guys just understanding teams are going to have pushes. It's the National Hockey League. Guys are going to be able to make plays when they're out there. But I love how we've approached, maybe a period that we didn't like. It's a much different. I mean, I wasn't here in previous years, but I feel that energy in the room of not being okay with it, but also knowing that it's happening and having the awareness that we need to have a turnaround period. So I think that's a big step, for a team to make. It's one thing to do it once, it's twice. It's another to do it repetitively. So it'll be something that our team hopes to, hope we don't have to go through those, but every team does.
When it comes to playing connected, all five skaters really working together, where do you think this team is at with that regard of the game?
I always feel like, as a defenseman, I always feel like there's room, for us to continue to be even cleaner on our breakouts. That's what I continue to go back to. But I love how hard our forwards are reloading right now, and it allows our defense to get up and really set our gap. And I think that in this league right now, with how well everybody skates, you can really stifle a lot of offenses with our gap and with the reloads from your forwards.
When it comes to having the relief of scoring 6 goals against the team and getting that offense going last night, do you feel a shift with the mood in the locker room? Guys just feeling a little bit more into it?
Yeah, I always feel like anytime the guys get a win for one, your goalie plays well for two, and then you start to give them a little bit of run support. It always helps. I feel, especially early in the year, you want to kind of get that first one. I'm still looking for my first, but hey, as long as we're winning, I don't care what I end up with.
And the game ball last year is now the game hat, right? Such a fun tradition. When it comes to rewarding someone with that, if you're the one giving it away, what are some of the characteristics you're thinking of who's deserving of this tonight? Because there's usually multiple.
Usually for me, I look at what directly impacts me in my game. The guys are low and slow on the breakout, they're blocking shots, getting big hits. Those are the types of things that maybe not show up as much. But I just think it's that overall mentality of our group to have that. And so, last night you look at 5 or 6 guys that could have got it. Obviously, Nick with his magical night was great. But that's me. I think those little intangibles always go a long way.
And just with this team growing that chemistry, growing that whole vibe together, how are you seeing that culture change or grow or develop so far now that we are in the regular season?
Yeah, I find with any team, every year is going to be a little bit different. Even with this team, every year you bring some guys in, they're going to have a little bit of different personalities. Me, I won't shut up, and I like to be in the room and have a little bit of jam with it. So I find this group is starting to come out of its shell a little bit, and I just see guys, they want to be a little more vocal, want to be a little more, involved and active, and that's a great time.
During games, when there's veterans who are so calm on the bench, what ripple effect have you seen that have with your team, especially riding these momentum wins?
Yeah, that's we talk a lot about guys who have championship pedigree, who won in big game. Emotion on the bench, it can go either way. Sometimes you need to push, sometimes you need to pull. And I think those guys who've been through, been around, really good leader, they know when it's time to push and then when it's time to settle everything down. So that's really important.
How do you make sure that this becomes momentum rather than just a couple wins?
It's just next game. It's just next game. If you get excited after 5 games, it will be a long one. So, we're not in position to get overexcited. We're in position where we have stuff to work. I try to not get the same old story, but it's 82 game. It's a race for improvement. So we're far from the finish line. We need to improve. We have stuff we do improve. We're proud of the focus of the guy, the way they commit to what we have to do. If you can see in our last 2 games how much our inside game improved, the quickness of our offense, our breakout improved, our forecheck improved. Okay, so now we need to keep going. We're not there yet, but we're in better shape. There's other area of our game we're trying to improve. So we're heading in the right direction, but we need to be consistent and resilient at it.
Everybody seemed really excited about OB scoring last night. So I'm just curious, what kind of a teammate is he?
OB is as low maintenance as you can have. He's a really good pro, a guy who prepare himself, train. Doesn't need anybody to babysit him or tell him what to do. He's really focused at being a good pro, preparing himself. Just an example, didn't have training camp, did not had the opportunity to practice much with the team because of his injury. He reviewed video by himself. He didn't come to see me and say, hey, do you have video for me? He sat in every team meeting. He reviewed video by himself. He tried to find situation who our teaching moment we talk about, and he does a lot of work by himself. So he's a really good pro. That is on the coaching side, as well as a teammate in the room. He's always there for his teammate. Sometimes you have guys in his role where they not always understand maybe the moment. That's never a problem with Obi. If a teammate need Obi, he will be there. If the team needs Obi, he will be there. Now it's Coach Obi since 2010 or 9, something like that. Never had to tell him, hey, we need this or the team need that or whatever. He got it figured out. He's the ultimate teammate.
Through the end of last season, and then obviously you guys are 2-0 at home, I'm just curious, what's made it more difficult for opposing teams to get wins in Delta Center?
Well, I think we're keep improving as a team. I think we have growth. You look at from last year to this year, our team got more mature. We had a good addition to our team from our young player, from acquisition, from all of this are reason why we're a better team. But at the same time, you look at our conference. It's a hell of a conference. It's a hell of a division, and it's a hell of a conference. So there's nothing guaranteed. It's not because you're a better team or you're more mature, anybody will give you anything. If you look yesterday, we're up 2-0. Then it's 2-2. You look at San Jose, they lost 2 games in overtime. Yesterday they were tied with us at some point. It's a tough league, and that's the way it is. And Boston is the same. Boston show up tomorrow in our barns, and you look at their results in the start of the season. They're a tough opponent, and we can go on in the schedule talking about what's coming in front of us. That will be that all year. It's the parity in the league is second to none, and it will be a battle every night.
Andre, that line of Keller, Hayton, and Schmaltz, I'll get to that in a second, but in the middle, Barrett, Hayton, you've been telling us for a long time how good of a two-way player he is.
Yeah.
Where have you seen the biggest maturation of him, say, from, I don't know, maybe the beginning of last year to this year? Because he seems like he can ramp up pretty quick.
Yeah, the biggest thing is there's a difference between believing in yourself and having confidence in yourself. I think Aids believe in himself, always believe in himself, but now he started to be more confident, more assertive in his play. He did not came in the lineup feeling he had to prove. He knew he was assertive about what he had to do. He's really competitive, he's ambitious, all of it. That will never change. He wants a lot for himself. That's the personality he has. But he came with a level of confidence in his play, and it showed. I think he's a more mature person, and it showed in his game.
And that line, you go back a couple of years, they were really good. What have you seen out of the line as a whole? Is it just maturation to this point of
yeah. I think they were good last year as well. If you look at Keller as a highest point in his career, if you look at Schmaltz, he was as well in that range or really close of his highest, if it's not his highest point. So it wasn't too bad. And if you look, like you mentioned, the years before, they were really dominant in their game. So I think there's a chemistry between them. There's a trust in each other. There's an understanding of what's expected, and they grew together. I remember those 3 guys a few years back where they were trying to pass the puck behind the goalie. They were trying to make the most beautiful play you can imagine all the time who they transform, and now they talk about their forecheck game. They talk about their inside game. They talk about we need to be more in front of the goalie. It's no more us explaining to them the benefit of it. It's them barking at each other and say, hey, we need to get that thing deep and get on the forecheck and get the quick strike and get on the inside, and we need to get more at the net. And I'm there, I'm kind of, okay. They get it. They know they grew together. They have their battle scarred together. They learn what they were doing right, what they were not doing right, and they had to prove of. Example, last year they became a really good forechecking line. So now I think for me one of the key moments yesterday is starting the third. The second shift, Kel's get a pass in neutral zone which he could have easily handled and tried to enter with the puck, deflect the thing, get on the forecheck. Great turnover, pass to Schmaltz in the slot. Schmaltz was, it's the action of the decision to put the puck deep, the intensity of the forecheck, and the quickness from the recovery to the attack. It was split second. We recover, made one strike. The guys, Schmaltz was already in the slot. Pass went, boom, puck in the back of the net. I think right there for me, that was leadership. That was kind of okay. That's the way we have to play, and our leaders did it, and that obviously it helped when the puck ended up in the back of the net. But still, I think that gave the tone of our third period.